The Taisetsu mountain range runs through the central region of Hokkaido. In 1936, a large deposit of mercury was discovered in these mountains. The mercury mine was named Itomuga, meaning sparkling water in Ainu. For years, the area prospered as a large-scale mercury supplier. But as times changed, the demand for mercury decreased. Inevitably, the Itomuga mine closed down in 1973. Taking advantage of the mercury refining and recovery technologies that have been developed over the years at the mining site, Nomura Kohsan seized this opportunity to start the only mercury recycling company in Japan. And so, in 1973, the newly established Nomura Kohsan opened the Itomuga plant, a mercury refining facility that promotes the development of a recycling society. Here at Itomuga plant, we receive all sorts of waste containing and contaminated with mercury from our customers, ranging from municipalities to companies who are situated all across Japan. Ever since we started our recycling business, the volume of waste that we treat and process has grown yearly. At present, we collect over 13,000 tons of used dry cell batteries and 8,000 tons of used fluorescent lamps. One of the hallmarks of Itomuga plant is that it has an all-inclusive recycling system, comprised of facilities for intermediate processing up to a final disposal landfill site for processed waste. Used dry cell batteries account for more than a third of the total waste we process at Itomuga plant. Batteries, which are collected separately from all over Japan, first go through a sorting process. Foreign objects are removed from the pile of dry cell batteries in advance, and then the batteries are separated according to their size. Next, the selected batteries proceed to the roasting facility. They are roasted at a temperature between 600 to 800 degrees Celsius in a large rotary kiln, which has the capacity to roast 100 tons of waste each day. By roasting the dry cell batteries, we are able to vaporize the mercury so that it can be collected separately. We strictly adhere to regulations in order to ensure the safety of our environment and our workers. Our facility houses state-of-the-art exhaust gas treatment equipment, which suppresses dioxin emissions during this roasting process. Once the remains from the roasting process are cooled down and pulverized, a magnet picks up the iron outer casings of the batteries. The remaining powder is recovered as residual zinc. Residual zinc is recycled into raw material for micronutrient fertilizers and zinc ingots. The outer iron casings of the batteries are collected as iron scraps and sent to ironworks. There, they become raw material for iron-based products. Here is an overview of the intermediate treatment process of used fluorescent lamps. We receive fluorescent lamps in two forms, crushed and uncrushed. The former type consists of lamps that have been crushed prior to shipment by our associate companies. Employing the lamp crusher that we have designed and developed, we crush only the glass parts of the unprocessed lamps. This is done to facilitate both the mercury recovery and recycling process. Next, using the magnetic separating machine, we take out the metallic and foreign objects from the pile of crushed lamps, since only the glass fragments go through the following washing process. During the washing process, glass fragments are tumble washed with water. This process washes away the fluorescent powder and mercury that are stuck to the glass fragments. The fluorescent powder and specks of glass that are washed out are recollected as mercury-contaminated sludge. The mercury that remains in the rinsing water is collected in the water treatment plant using chelate resin and activated carbon. Thereafter, mercury-contaminated sludge, as well as chelate resin and activated carbon that have absorbed mercury, are all collected and roasted in the multiple-hearth furnace. At this point, the mercury vaporizes and separates itself from the rest of the waste. After the washed glass fragments are dried, a highly sensitive metal detector removes the microscopic metallic specks out of the glass fragments. Once the glass fragments are completely rid of foreign objects, they are transformed into high-quality cullet or used as glass wool and raw material for cement. Whereas, the aluminum metallic bases are recycled into raw material for aluminum. The mercury vapor, collected from used dry cell batteries and fluorescent lamps at the intermediate processing plant, is sent to the cooling tower where it is cooled down and recovered as crude mercury. After various refining processes, the collected mercury becomes high-purity mercury metal, and this mercury metal, in addition to being used as material for fluorescent lamps, is used as reagents in universities and research institutes. It is used in experiments and various studies. At Itomuka plant, not only do we treat and recycle used dry cell batteries and fluorescent lamps, but we also recycle all types of waste that contain or are contaminated with mercury. We have been treating mercury-contaminated soil and sludge as part of our recycling business since the very beginning and have achieved high track records. Using the large rotary kiln and the multiple-hearth furnace, we roast and collect the mercury from these types of waste. In response to needs from society, we also specialize in treating various waste reagents as well as effluent that are emitted from research and educational institutions. Such treatment is conducted in our chemical processing plant. We also respond to local needs by treating chlorinated organic solvents and infectious waste discharged from medical institutions in our high-temperature incinerator and dry distillation gasification incinerator. Finally, in addition to our intermediate treatment processes, we also handle the final disposal of processed products that ultimately remain. The remaining residue is stored in our on-site final landfill. The landfill is a double-layered, water-sealing reinforced concrete structure which provides the utmost security and safety for the environment. Our all-inclusive recycling system has received high recognition from municipalities and companies. A research and development center has been built on our premises to complete our recycling system. Here, we collect and analyze data and pursue further technological advancement. With our years of experience and achievements, we have been selected by the Japan Waste Management Association as the only treatment and collection center for used dry cell batteries in 1985 and for fluorescent lamps in 1999. Our work is conducted on the base of our own environmental policy and high standards. Each office has been certified with the ISO 14001, and we constantly strive to develop and expand our recycling operations.